And then what happened was they started to do well. They started to compete and gain national and state qualifying times. And that then generated even more anticipation and excitement because they felt the momentum. Most of the time we actually lose hope because we lose momentum. And losing momentum looks like having doors of opportunity shut in our face, having disappointments, and could be layers of disappointment after years and years. And that can sometimes even put us in bondage because we've lost hope. So I want to encourage you, like the athletes that walked through the door of the swimming club that I used to run, that if you came to a swimming program and you had a coach who was writing out programs with hope and expectation that you were going to make something, you're going to do something great, of course you're going to absorb that energy into your life. So I would encourage you to get around people who are going to have hope for you and encourage you and have high expectations for you as well. Sorry, I'm getting back to the comments here. Good comment. Jess Blue Fox 420 says, can you please talk about how to connect to our higher self? I spoke a little bit about that before. All right, let's answer this question. I'm going to answer this question. Let me word it specifically. Spirit is constant. And I put this in a video in TikTok just recently. Spirit is constant. Now, I said about picturing a straight edge. Your straight edge is the plumb line, is your spirit, right? To which you are going to measure everything else off. Spirit is like, your spirit or the spiritual realm is like the other room. Just on this other side of this wall of my office, it's like the other room. You can access the spiritual realm by simply shifting your awareness. You have a body, you have a soul, and you have a spirit. Your spirit does not need to be told what to do. Your spirit already knows. It's like a tennis ball. I don't need to tell the tennis ball to bounce when I throw it. The tennis ball knows what it's going to do when it's being released from my hand. Your spirit will do exactly what it always has done. Now, the thing is that there are weights or oppressors that can squash down the expression of your spirit. And I talk about that in the soul videos where I say your soul, your mind, will, and emotions can inhibit the expression of your spirit. So we need to come to a place where it's not just soul healing, but we also come to a place of rest. Rest is like the plumb line, because rest, not just physical rest, but spiritual rest, because rest is a place in which we can access the spiritual realm a lot more than what we can when we're like high stress, up and down. Okay? There is no feeling in the spiritual realm. I want to put that out there. Feelings are soul. They're not spirit. Now, you can feel like elated, or like these are good feelings. There are good feelings and there are bad feelings. But in the spiritual realm, spirit is constant. I don't know if does that answer the question? So connecting to your higher self, we need to know what our spirit is sensing, and we plug into that. That's why I talk a lot about dream interpretation, because dreams is a very non-confrontational way to know what is happening in the spiritual realm and what your spirit is engaging with. So I talk about dreams a lot, because then you can understand where you're at spiritually and what your spirit is picking up, whether you're being oppressed, attacked. I talked about predatory spirits before, dark spiritual entities trying to access you. It's very hard to connect with your higher self, your spirit, when you're continually being attacked spiritually in the night or during the day, because you're then on spiritual defense. Okay, so we need to find a place of rest first. That's probably how I'd answer that. And rest is through like not just meditation, soul healing, getting around people who can encourage and give you hope. Sorry, I'm going to get back to the comments here. Guys, I've got like 10 minutes. So I have rage issues after DV spiritually. I find it hard to connect. Rage issues, yeah. Again, that's in the soul. Christabel Espina. So soul stuff, and I talked about rage before. We wanted to be able to get that release, so we're not allowing any dark spiritual entities to ride on that as well. They will want to ride on that. So I'm just going through the comments real quick. Thank you. I needed this conversation today. No worries. I love swimming. He has the most hope, has the most influence. Yes, Catherine the Great. Perfect. You can use that. Go for it. Sorry, this is lagging a little bit, so I just want to get back to these comments. Hello, bestie. What is the spirit? Okay, I'm going to try and answer Darren Shep's question, as well as user 9763702. Okay, what is spirit? So before you came in human form, you are spirit. Spirit is eternal, in the place without time, the land before time. So spirit is eternal. It's not your soul. Your soul is your mind, your will, like your mind, your logic, your thinking, your will, and your emotions. Your soul is bound. I would say, people say like your soul leaves the earth. I want to be specific with my words. Your spirit being is your true self. That is your true self. So when you're connecting to your higher self, I would reword that and rephrase that. You are connecting to your true self. That is what's actually happening. Your spirit is your true self, because your true self is not raging. Your true spirit self is not deep depression. Your true self is not anxiety. That is not your true self. Okay? Spirit is perfect, whole, and complete. And so when we're doing our sessions with people, we get people to come to their true self, their plumb line, their inner being, their true self. We get them to reconnect with that so that they know what that experience is. I don't want to say feels like, because we're getting into emotions. There is no emotion there. We know how to experience true self when it's at rest, at peace. Those are two, I don't want to say manifestations for lack of a better word. Those are two states that true self sits at. Anxiety, depression, rage, crazy, scattered chaos, like all these are all in the soul realm. These are not spirit. I want to make that clear, because a lot of people on TikTok don't really differentiate that. And so I really want to make that clear with everybody, that spirit, your spirit, all right, I'm going to finish this live with this. Your spirit already has downloaded information from eternity, that you came here to, that is your calling. Your spirit already has that downloaded information. Your mission on earth, should you choose to accept it or not, is to release what your spirit already has in it. Okay? That is your calling, right? Your calling, your vocation may be a desk job, your vocation may be a driver or whatever, but your calling is to do with the downloaded information in your spirit and releasing that. That is what it is. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates with you, because people ask, I'm going to do a video later about this, about what the difference between a calling is. I'll probably say it really quick, and this is where I'll leave you guys. So your calling is the mission your spirit came here and took on human form to complete. Okay. Hope that makes sense and resonates. You may have gifting, like say for example, your gifting, your skills may be to like fight for people and to advocate for people, right? You may be a lawyer, right? But the calling is to advocate and fight for people. You might be like a human rights lawyer, for example, okay? Your calling is to fight and advocate for people. How that is expressed on earth, maybe as a lawyer, a human rights lawyer. If your calling is to heal people, that may be expressed on earth as a doctor. Does that make sense? But your calling has spiritual implications for what you do. because healing people is not just body. Healing people is body, soul, and spirit. So I would say that the calling to be a healer does not just stop as like a GP, a general practitioner, doctor. To go higher, like the higher frequency of that is the soul and the spirit healing, because humans are a whole being. We can't just heal somebody's physical stuff without healing their soul and having their spirit being released through that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Hi from New Zealand. Hello all my American friends, and hello my European friends.